Krishna and Pennar Kaveri have been finalized. Once a consensus is reached among the beneficiary states, the centre will provide support for their implementation. For farmers to adopt suitable varieties of fruits and vegetables, suitable varieties of appropriate production and harvesting techniques, and to use appropriate production and harvesting techniques, a comprehensive package with participation of state MSMEs. Udyam E-Shram, NCS and ASEEM portals their scope will be interlinked. They will now perform as portals with live organic databases, providing organic databases, B2C, providing B2B services. These services will relate to credit facilitation. And recruitment with an aim to further formalize the economy and enhance entrepreneurial opportunities for all. Emergency credit line guarantee scheme has provided the much needed additional credit to more than 130 lakh MSMEs. This has helped them mitigate the adverse impact of the pandemic. The hospitality and related services, especially those by micro and small enterprises, are yet to regain their pre-pandemic level of business. Considering these aspects, the ECLGS will be extended up to March 2023 and its guarantee cover will be expanded by 50,000 crores of rupees by total cover of 5 lakh crores. With the additional amount being earmarked exclusively for the hospitality and related sectors. Credit Guarantee Trust for Micro and Small Enterprises scheme will be revamped with required infusion of funds. This will facilitate additional credit of 2 lakh crore for micro and small enterprises and expand employment opportunities. Raising and accelerating MSME performance. With outlay of 6,000 crore over 5 years will be rolled out. This will help MSME sector become more resilient, competitive and efficient. Skilling programs and partnership with the industry will be to promote continuous skilling avenues, employability. And the National Skill Qualification Framework. The National Skill Qualification Framework will be aligned with dynamic industry needs. Digital ecosystem for skilling and livelihood. Will be launched. This aims to empower citizens to skill online training. It also provides API-based trusted payment and discovery layers to find relevant jobs and entrepreneurial opportunities. Startups will be promoted to facilitate through varied applications and for drone as a service. In select ITIs in all states, the required courses for skilling will be started. Due to the pandemic-induced closure of schools, particularly in the rural areas and those from scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, and other weaker sections have lost almost 2 years of formal education. These are children in government schools. Mostly. We recognize the need to impart supplementary teaching. We recognize the need to impart supplementary teaching for education delivery. And to build a resilient mechanism, one for education delivery, one TV channel. For this purpose, program of one PM class, E-Vidya, one TV will channel, be expanded program of PM E-Vidya, 12 will be to 200 TV channels, 12 to 200 this will enable TV channels. All states to provide supplementary education. This will enable all regional languages to provide supplementary education and in regional languages for classes 1 to 12. High quality e-content in all spoken languages will be developed for delivery via internet. Spoken languages, mobile phones will be developed TV for delivery via internet, through radio, mobile phones and digital TV, through and digital teachers, through radio, a competitive mechanism for development of quality e-content, a competitive mechanism for development of quality e-content by the teachers will be set up of teaching and facilitate better learning digital tools of teaching. A digital and university better learning will be established to provide access. A digital university will be established to provide the country to students for world-class quality universal education, for world-class quality universal education doorsteps. With this will be learning available in different Indian languages, and this will be made available in different Indian languages. Will be and ICT built on a network. The university and spoke will be built on a cutting-edge ICT and spoke expertise. With the hub building cutting-edge public universities and institutions in the country, the best public universities and institutions in the country will collaborate as a network. An open platform for the national digital health ecosystem will be rolled out. An open platform for the national digital health ecosystem of digital registries of health providers. It will consist of digital registries, unique health identity providers, consent framework, health facilities with unique health universal access to health facilities with and universal access to health facilities. The pandemic has accentuated mental health problems in people of all ages. The pandemic has accentuated mental health problems in people of all ages. And care to better the access to quality national mental health and care services will be launched. A national this will include a network of 23 mental health this will include a network of 23 mental health centers with enhance of being the nodal center and International Institute of Information Technology, Bangalore, and International Institute of Information Technology, Bangalore, IIIT Bangalore, providing technology support. Recognizing the importance of Nari Shakti as the harbinger of the importance of Nari Shakti and for women-led development of during the Amrit Kal and for women-led comprehensively during the Amrit Kal schemes. Our government has comprehensively women and revamped the development of the Ministry of Women and Child, namely Mission Shakti, accordingly Mission Vatsalya, schemes, Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0, Mission Vatsalya, were launched recently and to provide integrated benefits to women and recently. To provide integrated benefits to women and children are a new generation Anganwadis Saksham Anganwadis are a new generation Anganwadis aids that have better infrastructure and audio-visual powered by clean energy and providing improved environment for powered by clean energy and providing 2 lakh Anganwadis will be upgraded under the scheme. 2 lakh Anganwadis will be upgraded under the scheme. Current coverage of Har Ghar Nal Se Jal. Current coverage of Har Ghar Nal Se Jal. This 5.5 crores were provided tap water 5.5 2 years itself. Were provided tap water in last 2 years itself. Allocation of 60,000 crores of rupees has been made with allocation an aim to cover 60,000 crores of rupees has been made with an aim to cover 3.8 crore households. In 2022-23, 80 lakh houses will be completed for the identified eligible beneficiaries of the PM for the identified eligible beneficiaries both rural and Awas Yojana. 48,000 crores is allotted for this purpose. 48,000 the central government will work with the state governments for this purpose. For reduction of the central government will work with the state governments and construction reduction of time required for promoting affordable construction related for middle class and for promoting affordable weaker sections for middle class urban areas, and for the economically weaker with the financial sector in urban areas. Regulators. We shall also expand access to capital along with regulators. Reduction in to expand access to capital along with reduction in cost of intermediaries. A new scheme. Prime Minister's Development Initiative for the Northeast It will fund infrastructure in the spirit of PM Gati Shakti. It will fund infrastructure in the spirit of PM Gati Shakti needs of the Northeast. And social development projects. This will enable livelihood activities of the Northeast for youth and women. This will enable livelihood activities sectors for youth and women. It will not be a substitute for existing central or state schemes. It will not be a substitute for existing central or state post the candidate projects. While the central ministries may also post priority will be given to those posted by the states. Priority will be given to those of 1,500 crores of rupees. An initial allocation of 1,500 crores projects is given will be in Annexure 1 and the initial list of projects is given in Annexure 1 of our vision to improve the quality of life of citizens in the most backward districts through aspirational backward districts of the country has been translated into reality in a very short span has been translated into reality in a very short span of time. 112 districts have made significant progress in key sectors have made significant progress nutrition, key financial inclusion such as health, basic infrastructure, financial inclusion and some of the state average values. They have surpassed even some of the state average values. However, in those districts, some blocks continue to lag. In those districts, in 22-23, some blocks continue the program will focus on such blocks. In 22-23 districts, the program will focus on such blocks in border villages with sparse population, border limited connectivity with sparse and infrastructure, often limited connectivity from the development and infrastructure. Such villages on the northern border development will be covered under such villages on the northern vibrant villages will be covered under a new vibrant villages program. The activities will include construction of village infrastructure, housing, the activities will include construction of village infrastructure, road connectivity, housing, provisioning of decentralized renewable energy, road connectivity, direct to home provisioning of decentralized renewable energy channels, direct to home and access for Doordarshan, their livelihood generation. And additional funding, their livelihood for these activities, additional funding will be provided. Existing schemes activities will be converged, will be provided. We will define their existing schemes and monitor them on a constant basis. We will define their outcomes and monitor them on a constant basis. In 2022, 100% of 1.5 lakh post offices will come on the core banking system. Post enabling financial inclusion core banking system. Enabling financial inclusion through net banking and access, mobile banking, accounts, ATMs, through net and also banking, provide online transfer of funds, ATMs between and also provide accounts, online transfer of funds. This will be helpful, especially and for farmers. And this senior citizens, especially in rural areas, farmers, enabling and senior interoperability in rural areas, enabling interoperability and financial Honourable inclusion. Speaker, sir. In recent years, digital banking, digital payments, in recent years, and fintech innovations have grown. Digital payments at a rapid pace in the country. Fintech innovations have government grown is continuously encouraging these sectors to ensure government is continuously encouraging digital banking to reach every nook and corner of the country in a consumer-friendly reach every nook and corner of the country in a consumer-friendly taking forward this agenda and to mark 75 years of our independence and it is proposed to set 75 years of our digital banking. It is proposed to set up in 75 digital banking units by scheduled in 75 districts of the country by scheduled the financial support for digital payment ecosystem. The financial support for digital payment will continue in 22-23 announced in the previous budget. This will encourage further adoption of digital payments. This will encourage also be further adoption to promote use of payment platforms. There will also be a focus economical to promote use of payment platforms that are economical and user-friendly. Sir, I move to the next priority. In recent years, I moved to the next priority. Compliances in recent years, and 25,000 compliance laws were repealed, and nearly 1,500 union laws were repealed. Our government's strong commitment. This is the result for minimum government of our government's strong commitment governance. For minimum government and maximum governance. Union laws were 1,486 union laws were repealed. Our trust in the public and ease of doing business is what is highlighted here. Our trust in the public and ease of doing business is what is highlighted here. The next phase of ease of doing business. For the Amrit Kaal, ease of doing business, the next phase of ease of doing business will be launched. Ease of doing business. In our endeavor to improve ease of living, efficiency of capital and human resources. In our endeavor to improve, we will follow the idea of capital and human resources governance. We will follow the idea of trust guided by an active involvement of the new phase. Will be guided by an active involvement of manual processes and interventions, digitization of manual and state-level systems, and interventions through IT bridges, integration of single-point access for all through IT-centric a single-point access for all standardization services, and removal of overlapping compliance, crowdsourcing of and removal of overlapping and ground-level assessment of the impact, crowdsourcing of with active involvement and of ground-level assessment of the impact will be with active involvement of citizens and businesses. A single window portal, Parivesh, for all green. A single window portal was launched in 2018. For all green, it has been instrumental in reducing the time required for approval. It has been instrumental in reducing the time required for approval. The scope of this portal will be expanded to provide information to the applicants. The scope of this portal will be expanded based on location to provide information about specific approvals, location of units, provided. Information about specific approvals. It will enable application for all. It will be approvals. It will enable application through a single form and tracking of the process through a centralized processing center. And tracking of the process through centralized processing center. Green CPC e-passports. The issuance of e-passports using embedded chip. The issuance of e-passports using embedded rolled out in 22-23 technology to enhance the convenience for the citizens in their to enhance the convenience for the citizens in their overseas travel. By the time of India at 100, nearly half our population to be living in urban areas. Half our population to prepare for this to be living in urban areas. Urban development is of critical importance. This will help realize the country's economic potential, including livelihood opportunities the country's economic demographic dividend, including livelihood opportunities. On the one hand, we need to nurture the megacities and their hinterlands. On the one hand, to become current centers of the megacities and their hinterlands. To become current centers of economic tier 2 and tier 3 cities to take on the mantle. We need to facilitate in the future tier 2 and tier 3 cities to take on the mantle in the future. Reimagine our cities into centers of sustainable living, to reimagine our cities with opportunities into centers of sustainable including living, women and our youth. With opportunities for this all. To happen, including women and cannot continue with a business as usual approach. Urban planning cannot continue to steer with a business as usual approach. A high-level plan to steer to
क्या नाम है आपका?
मेरा नाम देवेंद्र कुमार जोशी एडवोकेट है और मैं यहीं पे प्रैक्टिस करता हूँ जिला सत्र न्यायालय में।
सरकार के कामों को लेकर क्या कहना है आपका?
सरकार के कामों से आश्वस्त हूँ बस, मगर
urban capacity building. Support will be provided to the states. Capacity building. Modernization support will be provided to the states. Town planning schemes. Modernization of building by development. Town planning implemented. Transit will facilitate reforms for people to live and work closer to the mass. Transit for people to live and work. The central government's financial support for mass transit projects. The central government's financial support will be leveraged transit projects for formulation of Amrit action plans will be leveraged and their implementation for formulation for facilitating plans the TOD and their implementation for facilitating for developing India India specific knowledge for developing urban planning and design India specific certified training in urban planning and design up to 5 and to deliver certified training in these institutions up to 5 existing academic institutions in different regions will be designated as centers of excellence. These centers will be provided endowment fund of 250 crore each. In addition, the AICTE will take the lead to improve syllabi, quality and access of urban planning courses in other institutions. We will promote a shift to use of public transport in urban areas. This will be complemented by clean tech and governance solutions, special mobility zones with zero fossil fuel policy and EV vehicles. Battery swapping policy. Considering the constraint of space in urban areas, for setting up charging stations at scale, a battery swapping policy will be brought out and interoperability standards will be formulated. The private sector will be encouraged to develop sustainable and innovative business models for battery or energy as a service. This will improve efficiency in the EV ecosystem. Efficient use of land resources is a strong imperative. States will be encouraged to adopt unique land parcel identification number to facilitate IT-based management of records. The facility for transliteration of land records across any of the Schedule 8 languages will also be rolled out. The adoption of linkage with National Generic Document Registration System, NGDRS, with the One Nation, One Registration software will be promoted as an option for uniform process of registration and anywhere registration of deeds and documents. Necessary amendments in the code IBC will be carried out to enhance the efficiency of the resolution process and facilitate cross-border insolvency resolution. Accelerated corporate exit. Several IT-based systems have been established for accelerated registration of new companies. Now the Center for Processing Accelerated Corporate Exit, CPACE, will process re-engineering, will be established to facilitate and speed up the voluntary winding up of these companies from the currently required 2 years to less than 6 months. Government procurement. Government rules have recently been modernized for the needs of Amrit Kal. The new rules have benefited from the inputs from various stakeholders. The modernized rules allow use of transparent quality criteria besides cost and evaluation of complex tenders. Provisions have been made for payment of 75% of running bills mandatorily within 10 days and for encouraging settlements of disputes through conciliation. As a further step to enhance transparency and to reduce delays in payments, a completely paperless, end-to-end online e-bill system will be launched for use by all central ministries for their procurements. The system will enable the suppliers and contractors to submit online their digitally signed bills and claims and track their status from anywhere. To reduce indirect cost for suppliers and work contractors, the use of surety bonds as a substitute for bank guarantee will be made acceptable in government procurements. Business such as gold imports may also find this useful. IRDAI, insurance regulator, has given the framework for issue of surety bonds by insurance companies. AVGC Promotion Task Force. The animation, visual effects, gaming, and comic, the AVGC sector, offers immense potential to employ youth. An AVGC Promotion Task Force with all stakeholders will be set up to recommend ways to realize this and build domestic capacity for serving our markets and the global demand. Telecom sector. Telecommunications in general and 5G technology in particular can enable growth and offer job opportunities. Required spectrum auctions will be conducted in 2022 to facilitate rollout of 5G's mobile services within 2022-23 by private telecom providers. A scheme for design-led manufacturing will be launched to build a strong ecosystem for 5G as part of the production-linked incentive scheme. To enable affordable broadband and mobile service proliferation in rural and remote areas, 5% of annual collections under the Universal Service Obligation Fund will be allocated. This will promote R&D and commercialization of technologies and solutions. Our vision is that all villages and their residents should have the same access to e-services, communication facilities, and digital resources as urban areas and their residents. The contracts for laying optical fiber in all villages, including remote areas, will be awarded under the BharatNet project through PPP in 22 and 23. Completion is expected in 2025. Measures will be taken to enable better and more efficient use of the optical fiber. Export promotion. The Special Economic Zones Act will be replaced with a new legislation that will enable the states to become partners in development of enterprise and service hubs. This will cover all large existing and new industrial enclaves to optimally utilize available infrastructure and enhance competitiveness of exports. Atmanirbharta in defense. Our government is committed to reducing imports and promoting Atmanirbharta in equipment for the armed forces. 68% of the capital procurement budget will be earmarked for domestic industry in 22-23, up from 58% in 21-22. Defense R&D will be opened up for industry, startups, and academia, with 25% of defense R&D budget earmarked. Private industry will be encouraged to take up design and development of military platforms and equipment in collaboration with DRDO and other organizations through SPV model. An independent nodal umbrella body will be set up for meeting wide-ranging testing and certification requirements. Artificial intelligence, geospatial systems and drones, semiconductor and its ecosystem, space economy, genomics and pharmaceuticals, green energy and clean mobility systems, have immense potential to assist sustainable development at scale and modernize the country. They provide employment opportunities for our youth and make Indian industry more efficient and competitive. Supportive policies, light touch regulations, facilitative actions to build domestic capacities and promotion of research and development will guide the government's approach. For R&D in the sunrise opportunities, in addition to efforts of collaboration among academia, industry and public institutions, government contribution will be provided. Energy transition and climate change. The risks of climate change are the strongest negative externalities that affect India and other countries. As Honourable Prime Minister said at the COP26 summit in Glasgow last November, and I quote, "What is needed today is mindful and deliberate utilization instead of mindless, destructive consumption," unquote. The low-carbon development strategy, as enunciated in the Panchamrit that he announced is an important reflection of our government's strong commitment towards sustainable development. The strategy opens up huge employment opportunities and will take the country on a sustainable development path. This budget proposes several near-term and long-term actions accordingly. Solar power. To facilitate domestic manufacturing for the ambitious goal of 280 gigawatts of installed solar capacity by 2030, an additional allocation of 19,500 crores for PLI, production-linked incentive, for manufacturing of high-efficiency modules with priority to fully integrate manufacturing units from polysilicon to solar PV modules will be made. Honourable Speaker, sir, the circular economy transition is expected to help in productivity enhancement as well as creating large opportunities for new businesses and jobs. The action plans for 10 sectors such as electronic waste, end-of-life vehicles, used oil waste, toxic and hazardous industrial waste are already ready. The focus will now be on addressing important cross-cutting issues of infrastructure, reverse logistics, technology upgradation, and integration with informal sector. This will be supported by active public policies covering regulations, extended producers' responsibilities, framework, and innovation facilities. 5 to 7% biomass pellets will be co-fired in thermal power plants, resulting in carbon dioxide savings of 38 MMT annually. This will also provide extra income to farmers and job opportunities to locals and help avoid stubble burning in agricultural fields. Saving energy is an important aspect of the energy management. Hence, energy efficiency and savings measures will be promoted. This will be done in large commercial buildings through the energy service company business model. It will facilitate capacity building and awareness for energy audits, performance contracts, and common measurement of and verification protocol. 4 pilot projects for coal gasification and conversion of coal into chemicals required for the industry will be set up to evolve technical and financial viability. The policies and required legislative changes to promote agroforestry and private forestry will be brought in. In addition, financial support will be provided to farmers belonging to scheduled castes and scheduled tribes who want to take up agroforestry. Honourable Speaker, I now move to the 4th priority, financing of investments. Capital investment holds the key to speedy and sustainable economic revival and consolidation through its multiplier effect. Capital investment also helps in creating employment opportunities, induced enhanced demand for manufacturing